And just a few kilometers away from the Indian embassy is the presidential palace, where the Taliban is now fully in control, and there's a great deal of curiosity about the organization of the Taliban. Gaurav, tell us about it. We've been putting together in great detail what the Taliban's organization chart looks like. Tell us more, Gaurav.
Shiv, the impression is that it's a ragtag bunch of fighters. The Taliban is actually a very well-organized system. Now, on top of the system is this man you see on your television screen. His name is Haibatullah Akhundzada. Now, Haibatullah Akhundzada is the Amirul Mu'mineen, or the commander of the faithful of the Taliban. He was the Qazi, the chief judge of the Taliban. There's a very interesting aspect about this man. Now, Haibatullah Akhundzada sent his own son for a suicide mission in 2017. His 23-year-old son drove a vehicle into an Afghan camp in Helmand. He was killed. But that's the level of commitment and dedication of a terrorist organization. Now compare that to the Afghan army that was completely demoralized, had not been paid for 10 months. Their army chief, their defense minister, the commanders were being changed overnight. Compare that to the dedication of the Taliban, that the head of the organization sends his own son into a suicide mission. Then, of course, comes Mullah Muhammad Yaqub. Now, there are three others. So, the top man and then three others in between. We'll talk about Mullah Biradar. Everyone's talking about Mullah Biradar. But before that, I'll also tell you about Mullah Muhammad Yaqub. Now, he's the son of the founder of Taliban, Mullah Omar. Heads a military wing. So the military wing of Taliban is divided into two parts. One is headed by Sirajuddin Haqqani. The second is headed by Mullah Yaqub. Now Mullah Yaqub also harbors ambitions of leading the Taliban one day. But he's waiting for his time, is what we are told. Sirajuddin Haqqani heads the Haqqani network. Now you've heard of the notorious Haqqani network. Why have you heard of the notorious Haqqani network? Because this is the terrorist organization that works very closely with Pakistan Army and Pakistan's ISI. You've heard of the Quetta Shura, you've heard of the Haqqani network. Well, Sirajuddin Haqqani now heads it, very close to Pakistan's ISI, almost operated by them. Now comes the most important name that everyone's been talking about, Mullah Abdul Ghani Biradar. Now, Mullah Biradar or Mullah Abdul Ghani Biradar heads the Political and Diplomatic Commission of the Taliban, based out of Doha in Qatar. Now, what's extremely interesting is he is the diplomatic face, so the chief negotiator for the Taliban, and has been for quite some time. He incidentally had been jailed by Pakistan's army and ISI for 8 long years. Why? He was jailed because, one, yes, there was some factionalism within the Taliban at that point of time. Two, Pakistan Army and ISI did not want Mullah Biradar to carry out deals with different countries without the ISI being on board. So for 8 years he was in jail. When he came out of jail, he then went to Doha and was handling operations ever since. Now, you've seen that entire network. On top of this organization is Akhundzada, then the three commanders, faces of resistance. Very, very interesting faces of resistance. Now you have the man on your television screen, Amrullah Saleh. Amrullah Saleh, the vice president of Afghanistan. Just till last week, he's now declared himself as the caretaker president as per the constitution after Ashraf Ghani, the president, fled the country. Now, Amrullah Saleh is the spy master of Afghanistan. He's been their interior minister. He's a spy master. He's headed the spy organization, and he's been a fighter against the Taliban even on ground. So this man is a marked man as far as Taliban is concerned. They will go after him. He didn't leave the country. He rushed to Panjshir region. Now this is the region of the great Northern Alliance commander Ahmad Shah Massoud. Ahmad Shah Massoud, now his son Ahmad Massoud, he is heading this area. Why is this area so very interesting? We'll tell you more about this area, because when you look at the terrain, the topography, while it's landlocked from all sides and you have Taliban on every side, the terrain of this area enables them to have the higher ground, and this has been the ground that they decimated the Russians, whether their attack helicopters or their tanks, or even the Taliban subsequently. And this is where about 10,000 fighters are preparing the resistance force. The defense minister of the Ashraf Ghani government has also now joined the resistance. Will others join remains the big issue. But the fact remains, Amrullah Saleh, Ahmad Masood, and now the former defense minister of Afghanistan, they've all come together to fight back. Shiv, that's the story now.
Incredible. This organization chart of the Taliban is very intricate. Gaurav has shown you what the leadership and the connective tissue of this terrorist group actually looks like, but it goes even deeper, and Gaurav will get you a part 2 of this as we uncover more layers of the Taliban leadership. Gaurav, thank you very much for that. The Taliban is in control and continues to be one of our top stories here on India Today. Thanks as always for watching. 6 p.m. Prime with Pooja coming up after this break.